Sometimes you can do power.
TBC! Modern day, baby! Modern day! Modern day! Pound for pound!
Today I get some.
Oh, wait, what?
How would you give the blueprint to Terence to beat Canelo Alvarez?
Just need to do his job, what he's doing well. You know, he's changing his stance, he's moving a lot, you know, he's keeping distance. Like this he could win, of course, not with changing punches with him.
Crawford, how good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good, he's amazing. And
He said the same thing about you.
thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
Really? Is that good?
how to learn boxing, you know.
Really?
He's a very good fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to watch his fights.
Pound for pound, number one.
Yeah, probably he is now, because he is undisputed champion in 2 weight classes. And
Crazy.
Don Dimitri Bivol has not only backed Terence Crawford before his fight with Canelo Alvarez, but he has also joined him in training camp to get ready for the big fight in September. Dimitri Bivol paid close attention to how Terence Crawford moved his feet. Crawford has some of the most beautiful dancing in the world, but Dimitri Bivol is the best at it. They did a lot of shadow boxing and practicing with each other. Learning other athletes' footwork was the most important skill he used to not only beat the deadly puncher in Artur Bet, but also end his unbeaten streak and win the undisputed world light heavyweight title. As we saw with William Skull, Canelo Alvarez has trouble with fighters who move. Fans also don't like boxers who run, so, like Bivol, he gave Canelo Alvarez a balanced move by standing in his face to hit him, and then avoiding punches with great speed. Bivol doesn't run. Instead, he moves quickly and stands to hit his opponents, while using his footwork to avoid getting hit.
You're not staying, but what you are doing? And then
Who do you think has more power out of the two?
Canelo, of course, he got used to this weight class more than Crawford. He needs to get used to this power, even he's big.
So how does Canelo beat Crawford? Do you think that's a stoppage?
He could beat him, he could stop him.
If Terence Crawford wants to beat Canelo Alvarez, he needs to move like Dimitri Bivol instead of William Skull. As the most recent person to beat Canelo Alvarez, Dimitri Bivol is one of only 2 men who can beat him in this fight. For that reason, Crawford needs to learn as much as he can from Bivol. Bivol told Crawford that he needed to get used to the 168-pound force and pressure in order to win because it was a big difference. Aside from getting used to the strength, you also need to be mentally ready. This is because people who aren't mentally ready feel afraid or scared, which makes them and their bodies weaker.
It could happen anyhow, you know, from both of the sides. And Canelo, of course, will try to find some hard punch.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to this weekend. I want to get your thoughts on the co-main event between Dubois and Parker. That's obviously a huge title fight for the heavyweight championship of the world.
When something new happens and you aren't prepared for it, we all know how it feels. The body melts, gets mushy, and attitude is important in this fight. At the same time, we watch how Canelo fought other fighters like Charlo and possibly Callum Smith, and we saw a significant difference. I believe it is due to the opponent's mindset more than their weight class. Bivol became only the second person to beat Alvarez, following Floyd Mayweather's spectacular victory in 2013. When Crawford meets the rugged Mexican, he will have the opposite size advantage.
Crawford, he's a fighter with one of my favorite fighters, to be honest. I told it before and I'm telling it now. He's very smart. He knows how to use his skills, even that he's older than before. But he has a good chance, to be honest. Oh, and with his style.
What advice would you give him?
But has already won world titles in 4 weight classes, and in an unchallenged win in a 5th might cement his place as an all-time legend. He will be the underdog in a rare event in his career, but he thinks he possesses qualities that will make him a formidable opponent for his fellow great man. He said, "We'll see what my advantage is when it comes time to fight. I'm the type of person that likes to feel out his fighters and change to what they're doing. I believe it is my biggest strength being able to figure out every opponent I've met thus far."
On how to beat Canelo if they were to fight?
I will not advise him because he knows already what to do, Why I should advise him? If he asks me, maybe I will tell my experience, but I will not advise because he could give advice.
I'm trying to do the same. When it comes time for the Canelo bout, some say you're too little, outmatched, or don't belong in the ring with these warriors. I'll feel wonderful at 168 pounds. I don't have to worry about my weight. I know I'll feel amazing. I have a lot of stuff to prepare for. Meeting milestones is an important part of boxing.
Would you favor Canelo or Crawford in the fight? How do you think the fight goes?
It goes Crawford will try to keep on the distance Canelo. But also, just to keep Canelo on this distance, it's not just enough. He has good defense.
With the highly anticipated fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford only 3 months away, views are divided. While some back the Mexican superstar, others, such as Dimitri Bivol, are betting on the American challenger, impressed by his physique and skill set. Bivol is one of just 2 guys to have defeated Canelo, the other being Floyd Mayweather Jr. The Russian fighter won by unanimous decision on May 7, 2022, in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. That victory cemented his standing as one of the sport's best pound-for-pound fighters, and after confronting Canelo in the ring, Bivol thinks Crawford has a legitimate chance of pulling off the upset on September 13th. The light heavyweight champion revealed he was initially suspicious of Crawford's plan to move up to weight classes to meet Canelo as super middleweight, but after seeing his physique and talent, Bivol was impressed. "My first reaction was to Crawford's size," Bivol admitted. "Is it okay if he goes up to weight classes? Then I saw him. He's big and has great skills. He is one of my favorite boxers."
Sorry?
What do you make of the fight with Crawford and Canelo that's likely to be announced?
I think Crawford wants this fight a lot. He wants this fight, and I think he will be more active than Canelo's previous opponent, and he has different mentality. He has champion mentality. I think the fight will be much more interesting.
What do you make of the weight in that fight, the weight difference?
I think Crawford will not...
Bivol mentioned that Crawford can win, but it would not be easy. He has the ability to win this battle, but there are several minor problems that we are unsure how he will handle. Bivol warned that it all depends on Crawford's ability to adjust to the bigger weight class over time. Perhaps he'll get used to it, and how he feels on fight night. Bivol stated that he is able, has decent talents, is awkward, and can employ both southpaw and orthodox boxing stances, giving him an edge.
Let Canelo just walking on the ring when he wants, because we could see this fight. Canelo did everything. When he wanna rest, he could rest easy, in this fight. Yeah, of course, when he wants to work, that guy didn't give him work. Just rest. And I think with Crawford, it will be harder to rest.
Who do you think wins?
I don't know.
While some observers argue that Canelo's greatest days are behind him at 34, others think he still has an advantage over Crawford. If Bivol is right, boxing fans may be watching only the 3rd loss in the Mexican icon's illustrious career. The fight between Terence Crawford and Saul Canelo Alvarez, set for September 12th in Las Vegas, promises to be one of the most memorable fights of the modern era of boxing. Both are unchallenged champions in their respective divisions.
Well, great performance tonight.
Oh, I feel great. I win. I come to put a great show, but you know, to put a great show, you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with William's score?
Yeah, a little bit, but
What did you say to him at the end of the fight?
I say to him,
It was, it's not interesting to see the fight when one person doesn't want to win at all. But it was hard fight for Canelo because he was always aiming, and even the Skull didn't throw punches, and it's hard to catch him. You know, he's just moving. But his movement is good, to be honest.
Yeah.
Canelo in super middleweight and Crawford in welterweight. Although the American will move up to categories to face the Mexican, he will do so only after carefully analyzing his next opponent. Canelo's recent unanimous decision win over Cuban William Skull in Saudi Arabia was closely watched by Crawford, who studied the champion's every move. I don't think Canelo has dropped his level. It was more the merit of the style that was presented to him, he told Fight Hub TV.
you just come to, you can not win a fighting like that. And he say, I'm sorry, you know, it's my first time, and I just tried to put a good fight, and I'm so sorry. That's fine.
What's your message to fighters who will fight you in the future? Obviously not Crawford, but with that kind of mindset, they just want to last the distance.
That's a mediocre mind. That's a mediocre mind, because they come just to survive, to go to the 12th round. That's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put
This fight now.
Well, I've been wanting to fight, you know. I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if, you know, this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. You know, we both coming in an era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era, that type of era. So I think this fight.
Canelo threw 152 punches, only 56 of which hit, and despite 40 of them being to the body, the knockout was never close. Crawford said Skull moved a lot and effectively countered Canelo's big punches, but the Cuban did not keep the pace throughout the fight. He was boxing well until he quit. Crawford has previously intimated that his goal will not be to get the knockout, but rather to dominate Canelo with tactical acumen, quickness, and relentless movement. His ability to change postures, adapt to varied methods, and confuse opponents makes him a dangerous threat.
So every time I see him, he'll come and be like, Canelo.
Yeah, you know how Billy do it too,
Every time, I'll be like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
So every time he say that, you know, I just be like gradually getting into like looking at like, okay. And he's not that big. You know, he heavy, but he not that big.
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, all right. I'm laughing, but at the same time, it starts.
The American seemed to think that with discipline, lateral movement, and active defense, he can deactivate the Mexican's power following the fight in Saudi Arabia. Crawford entered the ring and faced Canelo for the first time, officially kicking off the promotion for their bout. Crawford is clearly training with more than just muscle. He plans to use his head. I'm seeing the holes in his game, and I know how to attack him, said his trainer, Brian Bomack McIntyre, showing that the strategy is in place. Canelo is the betting favorite, whereas Crawford is not a regular opponent.
I feel sorry for him. But he's boxing. He's boxing, and you know, things happen.
Did you watch the fight?
Yeah, of course. It was the fight. He was a good dancer. Yeah.
Would you rather see him fight Gus Haney again or Rowley again?
The American has uncontested belts into distinct divisions, a feat few have achieved in boxing history, and he is now seeking a third against one of the sport's biggest stars. In this war, legacy is as important as victory. In an interview with Sway's Universe, Canelo Alvarez declared his readiness to fight. "I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's a simple battle with easy money. If the money is right, I'm in because I don't enjoy fighting guys like Crawford. He moves a lot, and the fight is not really well. I saw his last fight, and he doesn't move too much anymore. So if the money is right, I'm in." Canelo explained that weight categories exist for a reason.
Cuando vine a pelear a Madison y voy a volver a venir.
Canelo, I'm sure you saw the fight with Crawford and Madrimov, and you heard Turki Alishik say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And look, I'm 100%.
This declaration is a major reversal for Canelo, who earlier expressed reservations about facing Crawford, noting the lack of respect he would receive for defeating a weaker opponent. Meanwhile, Crawford has been persistent in chasing the showdown, eager to jump up to weight classes to demonstrate his power. Crawford is fully aware of his physical disadvantage against Canelo, conceding that size will be an important factor in the fight, yet he remains confident in his abilities to overcome this hurdle and impose his fighting style. Some pundits are skeptical about Crawford's ability to fight well at super middleweight.
Because we are true fighters.
Yeah, true fighters, but
True fighters.
True, yeah, of course. No, not YouTuber fighters.
Huh?
Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah, of course.
They need to talk and talk about the fight because they want to say something. The people know we are great fighters. They want to put a great fight.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk.
I am sure in the end of
This is due in part to his most recent fight, a points win over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, which lacked the overpowering performance many expected. Regardless of these problems, the hypothetical fight between Canelo and Crawford has piqued the interest of boxing fans. The mix of strength, speed, skill, and charm from both combatants sets the setting for a spectacular showdown. While some think the press conference was a significant step toward making the matchup a reality, it appears destined to stay exactly that, a fantasy.
in the mid of September we will have one of the greatest fights ever happen in boxing, and I am sure of it. I am sure.
And fist up. Starts good. Excellent. Great. Excellent. Wonderful.
If you remember, His Excellency Turki Alshik was also pushing for the fight during Crawford's clash with Israel Madrimov last year. The Saudi monarch had even ordered Hearn to call Canelo's team to make the fight happen. However, the fight never occurred, and the talk about it had died down. Regardless, many boxing pros say Crawford is no match because to his weight class.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Another legendary fighter who has shown an interest in the upcoming showdown between Canelo and his two-weight world champion Andre Ward, who has predicted what he thinks the outcome will be in September. In an interview with Boxing News, Ward admitted that while the significant jump in weight may be a step too far for Crawford, he thinks that the 37-year-old will be successful on the night and will defy the odds once more.
But in terms of his resume, the opponents that he fought, right? And people say he fought this name and fought that name. Where did he fight that name when he fought him? He 32. He coming off 2 losses. He 35. Kovalev, when he fought Kovalev was cooked. He wasn't the crusher. He wasn't the undefeated guy. He had lost that. And
if Crawford defeats the Mexican star, the unbeaten 37-year-old from Omaha will become the first boxer in male boxing history to win the undisputed title in 3 weight classes, having already done so as super lightweight and welterweight. Canelo is a veteran with a February 2nd, 63 record and wins in 4 weight divisions. Throughout his career, he has been the undisputed 168-pound king twice. Only Floyd Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol have defeated Alvarez during his illustrious career, and as a result, Canelo looks to have a long list of opponents wanting to face him. Following Crawford's victory over Thomas Lamina, Jermall Charlo called out Canelo, Chris Eubank Jr. was suggested as a possible next opponent after defeating Conor Ben in April. And now Dmitry Bivol's camp has challenged Canelo to a rematch as well.
I'm not knocking the hustle, but you lose me when you start saying I'm the best fighter in the world. Or you lose me when you feel like you don't have to fight the best, but then everybody else got to fight the best. Canelo is a really good fighter, man. But you don't really know how good you are until you fight the other best. Like even Dmitry Bivol, the dude you lost to.
Bivol's manager, Vadim Kornilov, said World Boxing News, "I expect Canelo and his fans to want to see him redeem himself after a clear, one-sided loss before. He fights everyone else, but I probably see it differently than most others. Perhaps the Eubank or Bivol bout takes place, I am not sure. For the time being, he still needs to beat Crawford."
I could compare like with the Canelo, yeah? He put all his energy, all his power on single punch. And yeah, maybe single punch sometimes he's harder, Canelo, yeah, than Better Beef. Because Better Beef didn't do like, yeah, Better Beef was more like close and
Dmitry Bivol has 4 wins after his victory over Canelo Alvarez, with his one loss coming against Artur Beter Beef, which the Russian avenged during their rematch in February 2025. Bivol became the undisputed light heavyweight champion after defeating Beter Beef. However, he has recently relinquished the WBC belt in order to pursue a Beter Beef trilogy rather than fight. David Benavidez's management claimed that the Beter Beef trilogy would take place later this year, with a Canelo rematch following that.
Yeah, but if you ask them, let's do like 5 punches, yeah? Better Beef, every punch will be hard. With Canelo, maybe first hard and then both of them are strong, but Better Beef is bigger and
Our duty is to finish the trilogy. I feel that if he defeats Terence Crawford in his 3rd bout with Beter Beef, he will be qualified for a rematch with Canelo. Canelo Alvarez has won 6 fights since losing to Dmitry Bivol, including a win against Gennady Golovkin, John Ryder versus Jermall Charlo, Jaime Munguia, Edgar Berlanga and William Skull. He returns to action against Terence Crawford on September 13th. And that's all for the time being. Stay up to current on boxing news, moments, events, and activities by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to switch on notifications to be told when we post quality material like this. Until the next time, peace out.